You're listening to the Future Tech Health Podcast with Richard Jacobs. Until I reached age 40, I never realized the obvious, that we all have medical issues, or we at least have a family member or close relation that had, has, or will have them in the future. Medicine and biological systems are the final frontier. Until we've conquered death, figured out how life began, cured cancer, and understood our purpose in the universe, there's a heck of a lot to talk about when it comes to our health. Future Tech Health means I'll be covering futuristic topics that are actually already in clinical trials, or even starting to appear on shelves or by prescription, or available for your own use. We dive deep into stem cells, CRISPR-Cas9, the science of sleep, epigenetics, medical testing, cancer, ketogenic diets, stem cells, aging, regenerative medicine, and more. My goal for you, the listener, is to learn from these podcasts. You may very well learn something that may change the course of your life for the better, steer you towards a new career, or give you insight into addressing a serious medical problem. Remember, however, this podcast and its content is informational in nature only. No medical, tax, legal, financial, or psychological advice is being given. If you enjoyed the podcast, please listen, subscribe, like, and share it with friends. Thank you. Hello, this is Richard Jacobs with the Future Tech Health Podcast, and I have Wei-Shin Lai and Jason Wolfe. They're co-founders of SleepPhones. Website is SleepPhones.com, and it's spelled P-H-O-N-E-S, SleepPhones.com. So Wei-Shin and Jason, thank you for coming. How you doing?
Great to speak with you.
Great.
Yeah, tell me about what is SleepPhones? What does the product do?
So the SleepPhones actually got started about 11 years ago at this point. I used to be a family doctor, and late at night I would get, phone calls from patients asking questions and stuff, and it would be hard for me to get back to sleep. And so Jason suggested that maybe I should listen to some relaxing music, and so, which is a great idea. But then, headphones are bulky, you can't sleep on your side, and then the earbuds just dig into my ears and are painful.
Unpleasant.
And so one night, he got some speakers, we sat down, we soldered some stuff together and tried various soft materials to try to make it more comfortable. And eventually we hit upon the idea of putting the speakers inside of a headband, and that just, and it stayed on all night. I could listen to the relaxing music, and it actually did help me sleep. It was just wonderful.
They're the very best, most comfortable sleep phone or headphones for anything.
Is it like earbud style, or they cover your ear type earphones? What do they look like?
So we have very, very thin speakers that actually are inside of the headband. And so you barely feel them at all, and you can adjust them inside of the headband. And, we have various versions. You can have a wire coming out the back of your head that you can plug into your phone. But most people are obviously nowadays are opting for the Bluetooth version. And then our latest version is the effortless, which is Bluetooth in addition to having wireless charging. And so it's induction charging. All you have to do is, put the headband down on the surface, and then it charges through the fabric.
No need to plug anything in anymore.
People wouldn't try to keep it on their head and charge it while they sleep, would they?
I haven't encountered that yet.
You never know,
I have two pairs, so using the one the other's charging.
Oh, okay, that's smart. Huh. So the uniqueness of this is just that you've been able to get a form factor that's just more comfortable on, around your head.
Absolutely, yeah. I think that's kind of where we had stood out early on when we started the company 11 years ago. And at this point, we have the most advanced technology as well, in addition to the form factor. And, I think form factor wise, it's probably more comfortable than most of the companies that are probably bigger than us. You've probably heard of some of their newer products that have come out and play white noise or whatever it is. They're pretty cool, but ours is by far still the most comfortable. And I think that is, our biggest selling point there.
Yeah, we've put a lot of effort to finding just, sourcing the perfect materials and evolving that perfect form factor.
Yeah. And, so like an example of one of the things that we did was with our module, the wireless module that is inside of the headband, it's not just like one hard thing. We've put it in silicone, which has some springiness and some softness to it. And in addition to that, in order to have like the long battery life that you would need for an overnight, like for a full 8 hours of listening to something, we had to put a fairly large battery in there. And part of that, we've actually made a bend in that silicone shell. And so then it just kind of molds around your ear. So we've really considered every last thing so that, there's nothing that's going to be an impediment to comfort. And it's as thin as possible, because I think, to me, like if you're trying to lay on your side, the thickness of whatever it is just going to push on the ear. So the thinner it is, the thinner it is, the better.
Yeah, I felt that with, blocking out light. I put like a sock over my eyes and I tuck it under the side of my face. But if the sock is not right, the band of it is too thick, then you can feel it and it's hard to sleep. So it makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
That's counterproductive.
Yeah. So what was some of the iterations or journey you had to go through? What did it look like early on, and what were some of the challenges to comfort that you had to fix?
I think it was still pretty comfortable early on, but it was far different. And we experimented with different orientations, different thicknesses of fabric.
Yeah. Actually the first 500 we sewed and soldered ourselves. So
on the kitchen table. Yeah, we had a lot of iterations of finding just the right speakers and the right form factor.
You bought me my first sewing machine for my birthday.
I bought my highly educated wife a sewing machine for her birthday one year.
And then I bought him for his birthday a soldering iron.
Which I still use. That's a nice one.
Yeah. So we actually made them ourselves, and we bought Joanne fabric fleece whenever it went on sale, and we sourced some speakers from Mauser, and it was very much a homegrown kind of thing for the first little bit there.
We built our own website.
Yeah, and then eventually, when we kind of outgrew making it ourselves, we started hiring some contractors to help us with the sewing component or the soldering component, stuff like that. And then eventually we moved on to some fabric that we sourced from Polar Tech, which is located in the U.S. And so we thought that, we were doing everything right to try to source everything in the U.S., but it turns out they were actually sourcing it from overseas. So eventually, as we grew in our operations, we sought to get the best fabric in the world, and that fabric is made in Taiwan, and so that's kind of where we went to get our fabric. So it's the athletic tech kind of fabric.
As time went on, different sourcing approaches fit our economies of scale better.
Right. Yeah, and then it was softer, it was stretchier. We went down from 5 sizes in the very beginning to now 3 sizes because it's just that much stretchier.
Nobody needs that many sizes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody's got time.
Well, if you spend so much time making this so comfortable, why not offer it on license to people that make headphones for normal daily use? Because it sounds like if they incorporated your system, anyone wearing headphones at all would be a lot more comfortable. Earbuds, that kind of thing. So it sounds like you can go a lot further than just sleep,
We have our Run Phones line as well. Especially in the winter, I wear them almost constantly. They're always attached to my head.
Yeah, so it's the athletic version. Yeah.
People, we get just wonderful testimonials for the most amazing array of applications.
Oh, so what are some examples that may not be obvious to people?
I think the more obvious ones would be like for people who have trouble falling asleep, turning their mind off. And so, some of the initial testimonials that came in were about how, I've been on sleeping pills for 10 years and I've finally been able to come off. And so as a doctor, as a family doctor who used to prescribe sleeping pills like that really was one of my biggest motivators. And then another one that we got fairly early on was, it's kind of a cute story. There was a guy who was kind of skeptical because his wife ordered some SleepPhones. And he's like, I snore, but whatever.
I'm told I snore. I don't believe it. I have no evidence of this.
So the guy, was kind of skeptical, and then his wife started once she started using the sleep phone. She started sleeping so well that she started snoring, and then he caught on, and he's like, "Oh man, now I need sleep phones." And so now they both have sleep phones, and so it was kind of a cute story that way.
We saved marriages. People specifically said, you saved our marriage.
Yeah.
Lots of different size applications. Folks in the military, in anywhere you have a shared sleeping environment, or in a barracks or in a dorm room.
What's making people? What's making people sleep better? Is it just is it because they block sound, or is it more that they're putting out a sound that's comforting and puts you to sleep?
Yeah, it's more the latter. So I don't want to claim that we have noise cancellation, because we don't have like the active noise cancellation.
Nor would that necessarily be safe.
Right. Yeah. You want to hear the fire alarm at night if it goes off. But yeah, we basically are a delivery mechanism for whatever sounds are soothing.
And people sell just all kinds of different sound technologies for different conditions and different purposes. And we maintain that we're the best delivery mechanism for just about anything you can listen to.
Okay, so are there certain sound programs at night that tend to help people fall asleep better than others?
Absolutely.
I mean, is there a library of them, or what do you have?
Absolutely. We've got various content providers we've worked with in the past, and we've started our own initiative now. And I've always been curious as to what does work best for what. So we've begun our own initiative, which uses artificial intelligence and machine learning to try to help us figure out what sound technologies are most effective for various applications. And we're not quite ready to talk about it too much yet, but it's coming, and I'm excited.
Yeah, it's funny that you would ask about that, because that was like one of the questions that you have on your list, which is, what do you see in your roadmap 6 months to a year from now? And so yeah, we've got something really, really exciting coming up, and we plan to launch it via Kickstarter. So you'll probably be hearing back from us when we're ready with that. But yeah, it actually tries to figure out what is the best music for you to listen to. There's so much variety out there. Just do a search on the App Store, and there's all kinds of stuff.
There are lots of people asserting things, and I do believe there's value to a great deal of it. But we want to really get a better sense. Yeah, we get a better sense of what's going on.
Right.
And we're going to leverage our.
What's in the library right now of sounds? What does it come with? Or is it you just got to hook it up and play music through a music player? Like, does the headband have anything on board, or is it just pure headphone?
They are pure headphones. So unlike some of the other ones that have like built-in white noise and stuff like that, ours are pure headphones right now, except for one model. One of our models, the SleepPhone Simple, we designed because there are some people that still don't have smartphones, don't ever want to have smartphones.
Don't want to mess with it. Yeah.
Don't want to. Yeah, they don't know how to program a playlist. They don't even know what that is. And so for those people, we have 17 different tracks, and those are pre-programmed in, and we call it the Simple because all you have to do is press one button.
It's all in your head.
Okay.
That's the tagline.
Yeah, we've got a few tracks on there. I think primarily we're using binaural beats in that context.
Yeah.
We've always tried
what about heat and coolness? Does this make anyone's ears or heads hot? I like earbuds. I don't like the headphones that cover your ears for instance, because my ears get hot and sweaty.
Nobody likes earbud. But we do have various fabrics, and oddly enough, I find that I sleep with the very thickest, and I don't think it bothers me very much. What do you have to say about that?
To me, I'm not bothered by the heat. I'm always one of those people who are cold. So I kind of like the softness of the thicker fabric, but for a lot of people who live in warmer environments or just tend to sleep hot, we do have it's actually the same material we use for our run phones. So our athletic version, it wicks away sweat, and it just kind of helps keep you dry, which also keeps you cool at the same time, because it just, once the sweat evaporates, it keeps you cool.
And for many people living in very hot areas, they've got heavy duty air conditioning anyway, so they, once again, aren't bothered by it.
Yeah.
Is there any need to turn this into like an eye mask / earphone? If you put on the headband just a little lower on your head, it could really, I know it's not made for that, but you could do that. But any plans to do that?
Oh, many of our customers use it that way.
They already do that. Yeah, we tell them to size down if they really like the eye mask type of concept, and so then because the circumference of your head is slightly different when you angle it differently, and so we just tell them to size down one.
Yeah, this also looks like something you can combine into like a winter hat, for certain climates. I mean, if you had a hat made with certain slits in it where you can take in and put out the headphones, and you can slip them into a hat, or make it a hat that you wear, and you wouldn't have to worry about carrying any extra equipment for earphones.
We're very popular in Canada. I assume it's because they want something to put over their ears.
Yeah. Yeah, we live like pretty close to Canada. We're in Erie, so we just got like 3 inches, and nobody bats an eye,
I think these last 2 weeks we've lived near the Arctic, as far as I can tell.
Oh, the polar vortex, huh?
It's been surprisingly windy. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, what are you said there's now 3 sizes instead of 5. So, what are the sizes just called? Small, medium, large, or do they have like some other names of them? Just small, medium, large. Okay. And have you found that most people's heads will fit the 3 sizes?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So before we called it small, medium, and large, we actually called it the extra small, one size fits most, and extra large. But that just got really confusing because everybody wants to assume small, medium, and large. So we decided to just kind of get back to the basics. But really the medium is a one size fits most. It'll fit 90% of people's heads. And then the small really is for, smaller heads. And then the large is really for, big and tall people who have plenty of hair.
It seems that people overestimate how far in one direction or other their head is.
Sometimes, yeah.
Well, I don't know if anyone wants to think their head is big unless they assume that they have a lot of brains in their head. But
it's like Sputnik.
Yeah. Okay. Well, very good. So what's ahead for the next year or so? What can you say about what you're working on?
We say it's going to be cool. It's going to be cool. It won't be long now. We're very close. We're formulating our PR strategy and how we're going to roll it out. We're coming to the end of our alpha testing. Probably very close to beta testing right now. It's going to be cool.
All right. So what you're looking at right now is customized music or sound or binaural beats, whatever it is, to help people fall asleep faster. Is that the current goal?
So we're branching out from hardware into more software.
A content platform to complement our existing hardware. In the past, we've considered ourselves very agnostic toward what people listen to.
Right.
And now we're going to find out what really works. And there's a plethora of different sound technologies that are purported to have some affect. This is supposed to induce some states, and we're going to find out what does what. Okay.
Well, very good. What's the best way for people to find out more? Just go to SleepPhones.com, or is there another way to reach out that's better? Yeah,
definitely. If you're interested in buying some sleep phones, just go to SleepPhones.com. That's SleepPhones. So 2 P's in the middle. .com.
Yeah. The website's the center of our world. Yeah.
Okay. Well, very good. Well, thanks for coming on the podcast. I appreciate it very much.
Sure. Thank you for having us.
You're listening to the Future Tech Health Podcast with Richard Jacobs. Until I reached age 40, I never realized the obvious, that we all have medical issues, or we at least have a family member or close relation that has, or will have them in the future. Medicine and biological systems are the final frontier. Until we've conquered death, figured out how life began, cured cancer, and understood our purpose in the universe, there's a heck of a lot to talk about when it comes to our health. Future Tech Health means I'll be covering futuristic topics that are actually already in clinical trials, or even starting to appear on shelves or by prescription, or available for your own use. We dive deep into stem cells, CRISPR-Cas9, the science of sleep, epigenetics, medical testing, cancer, ketogenic diets, stem cells, aging, regenerative medicine, and more. My goal for you, the listener, is to learn from these podcasts. You may very well learn something that may change the course of your life for the better, steer you towards a new career, or give you insight into addressing a serious medical problem. Remember, however, this podcast and its content is informational in nature only. No medical, tax, legal, financial, or psychological advice is being given. If you enjoyed the podcast, please listen, subscribe, like, and share it with friends. Thank you.